The bigger context, though, Ian, aside from sort of records and the history of it, is where it sits in where Irish football is at the moment. And people have used this as an example to say, look what happens if you build it, they will come type of stuff. You know, if you have the ambition, there is an audience there. Is that a message maybe to those outside the game in terms of the government, investors that might be interested in getting involved in Irish football at the moment?
100%, there has to be. You look at Michael Noonan during the week, you look at Melia's news, you look at the quality of young players coming through. It needs to be backed. Like the amount of talk and manifestos and figures being thrown all around the place over the last few months during that kind of the election phase and promises being made. We need that to be backed. We need investment into the League of Ireland game at underage level. We need to actually develop our own players now with Brexit in at 18. I know we can go into European leagues, but traditionally it was across the pond over to England. We need to develop our own players. We have to put resources in place. We have to pay coaches to bring their expertise to guide the next generation of our footballers. Because you've got to realise this is directly linked to how our international teams perform, how we get onto the global stage, how we qualify and compete at European and World Cup level. It's all linked. Like the players that I just mentioned, Noonan, Melia, they could be the next stars of the future to lead Ireland in the next World Cup and European campaigns. And we need to keep that conveyor belt and drive that development of our young players.
One of the accusations, Brian, in the past is that the league was almost cut off from the international team or the bigger picture in terms of how the FAI viewed Irish football. But with the likes of this lad whose name went around the world on Thursday night, you know, with that goal in terms of youngest European goal scorer in the modern UEFA era. Again, backing up what Ian says about the Mason Melia deal, another sign that, like, if you invest, you will get results. You will get
I think in the case of those two particular players, Melia and Noonan, they're at two clubs that have invested heavily in their underage teams and the coaching involved in that. But Ian is right. I mean, there's now a responsibility on government and everybody else to invest in the clubs, invest in the underage structures, not the first team, not the grounds. The grounds have to be done. But if we don't improve the standard of coaching, the coaching needs to be dealt with as well. We need improvements in the standard of coaches, the payment of coaches, so that good quality coaches are working with our best young players. Because the contact time the players are getting with good coaching is minimal compared to what they would have got if they go to British teams. And players like those young ones that we've talked about, they would have been gone previously at 15 and getting the advantage of the experience and guidance and intensity of being in that environment in Britain, which is a full-time professional environment.
That needs to be brought in here.
We don't have that. Our underage players are still going to school and doing 2 or 3 nights a week and a game at the weekend. So they're not going to be good enough for us to win international matches in the future, Tommy, if we stay as we are.